Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It is here, the grand finale, the end of the Sleep Token journey. Hopefully not. Hopefully they put out more music. But anyway, we'll get to that. I'm going to dive into the lyrics of Ascensionism and Take Me Back to Eden. And with my renewed knowledge, I don't know if that's the right word to use there, but with what I know now about everything, does a song jump out any different at me? Is there a different meaning to it? Let's see. Let's find out. And then we're going to do the Euclid reaction, and I'm going to jump into the lyrics of that. And yeah, that's going to be it. So thank you so much once again for coming along on this journey with me. And I hope I see most of you, or hell, all of you, in whatever I do after this, whatever bands. I'm probably going to jump back into like Spirit Box. Some of you requested the band Ginger. Okay. And, let's see what else is out there, because I definitely want to start, I'm loving the whole lyrical analysis aspect of it. I love diving into song lyrics and deriving a deeper meaning, or at least my interpretation of it. So I'm definitely going to be doing this for other bands and other songs. So yeah, feel free to suggest in the comments. A lot of you made some great suggestions, which I'm going to go through once I'm done with Sleep Token. But yeah, drop a like if you enjoy this reaction. Once again, thank you for coming along, and thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys are the best. Let's go. Oh yeah, link here if you want to be a Patreon supporter. Link here in the description. The super thanks is also where you can support the channel. If you don't want to do like a monthly thing, just one time on this video, you can do that too. So yeah, let's dive in. This is Ascensionism. Let's go. Well, I know. Oh, I've also been listening. I've listened to this song and Take Me Back to Eden like right now before I started this recording. So the song itself is fresh in my mind. So let's go. Well, I know what you want from me. You want me to be your reflection, your bitter deception, setting you free. So you take what you want and leave. Pretty obvious right off the bat. This is referencing. So this is early in the album. This is still when he was recalling specific moments in the past. And this is him talking to this woman and being like, you just want me to be your reflection. You want me to be like you, right? Which gives you the freedom to keep being the horrible person that you're being, setting you free. So you take what you want and leave. That's kind of like, this is him letting go. Like this entire album has been about him, about self-actualization, acceptance, letting go. Yes, there's been some grief thrown in, because obviously you don't just get over grief. It comes back around. So he has relapsed a couple of times, but more often than not, these songs have always been about him regaining the confidence and, as we've learned, finding someone new. So that's been awesome. So this is the intro to the song is like, okay, I know what you want from me. You want me to be this person that I'm not, that mirrors everything you do. So you just take what you want and leave. It's like, fuck you, go away. Who made you like this? Right? Who encrypted your dark gospel in body language? This, I think, is like a sexual thing. I feel like it's a sexual thing. Dark gospel, of course, he's using the religious theme and putting her in that kind of light. In body language, of course, referring to either the way she behaved, her mannerisms, or it could be a sex thing, because we know quite a few songs were about some raunchy, hanky-panky. So that, and because of that, the synapses, however you want to say it, snap back in blissful anguish. Blissful anguish kind of being an oxymoron there, because it's pain that he enjoys. Right? It's pain, because we know that too. There were moments the toxicity was so deep that the amount of pain that he had, whether it's psychological, whether it's physical, it made him feel something and he liked it. Right? That could be that. Then he's asking, tell me you met me in past life. Like I love the rhythm of that. Tell me you met me in past lives, past life, past what might be. Like I love the rhythm of those lines. Past lives, past life, past what might be eating me from the inside. Eating me from the inside is, do you wish that you love me? There's a line there where he's like, something's eating me alive from the inside and I don't know what. That's what that's referring to. It's a callback. I mean, it's a callback to the song, but it's also literally calling back past what might be eating me from the inside. Whether it's this, I wanted to say guilt. Guilt's not the right word. Whether it's the, eating me from the inside. Could it be guilt? It's possible. It's possible that it was guilt for, because he did at certain points he did feel guilty for the way he acted, because he was also equally toxic, and that was eating him from the inside. You know, or just the pain, the darkness that was eating him from the inside. Could be any one of those things. Half algorithm, half deity. So yes, it's referencing sleep, but I think I'm also pouring a little bit more into the theory that sleep is the same woman. That sleep is not someone new. Sleep is this woman that he worshipped, because that is what happened. He worshipped her, and he needs to get away from that. He's not trying to go he's not trying to go to sleep. There were songs where he was trying to, but this is him trying to break free from that. So I think there is some weight to that theory where sleep, the idea of sleep and the goddess of sleep, is in fact that woman who he keeps referring. So that it could be that, right? Half algorithm, half deity. So half algorithm implies, he's using a lot of this technological terminology, like the circuit boards, the wires. He's using a lot of that kind of vernacular. So it kind of makes me think like it's a feeling of being robotic or inhuman, or just half deity. So half woman, half machine, which a lot of these creatures, a lot of these characters that have been in the cover art, a lot of them have mechanical parts, wires, machinery type stuff, but they're also kind of nightmarish looking, not humanoid, but creatures, actual biological creatures. So half deity, half algorithm kind of applies to that. You operated as though you were just binary, but you were also something that I actually worshipped, and something that I fell in love with so hard that it ate me alive. Glitches in the code or gaps in a strange dream. See that? It's the juxtaposition of it being are you this binary machine type being, or are you a strange dream that I keep wanting to go back to sleep to keep experiencing? Right? Gaps in a strange dream. You wake up from a dream, you can't remember the entire dream. Tell me you guessed my future and it mapped onto your fantasy. This, of course, is calling back to the previous band or project. I think it was just two of them, right? The Canopy. Tell me you guessed my future and it mapped to your fantasy. So he's asking her, I don't know if he's asking her to tell him, but I think he's just stating that she was she guessed his future, so mapped onto her fantasy. So I think that's calling back to her saying, yeah, this is gonna work out. This is gonna be something big. You're gonna be something big. And it's exactly what I'm dreaming of. It maps to my fantasy. So let's do this together. Right? So I don't know if it's implying that she kind of tricked him into thinking that the fame was going to be something they were both going to share and live in this fantasy life in paradise, in Eden, that kind of thing. And he fell for it. History dictates. He fell for it. Turn me into your mannequin, I'll turn you into my puppet queen. That's pretty plain and simple. I'm a dummy. You puppet me, pull at my strings. That's pretty obvious. Moving on to verse 2. I'm kind of speed running through this because I want to get to Euclid. Won't you come and dance in the dark with me? Show me what you are, I am desperate to know. Dance in the dark, okay, that can just be a romantic kind of thing where they were dancing at nighttime, or just whatever apartment or house they were in, whether they lived together or not, I don't fucking know. But wherever they were together, dancing in the dark is kind of romantic when you're sharing that quiet, intimate moment with your partner. So won't you come and dance in the dark with me? Show me what you are, I'm desperate to know. That's him literally saying, open up to me, tell me something about yourself, be free with me. But we know she didn't. Then he says, nobody better than the perfect enemy. Digital demons make the night feel heavenly. Make it real. Digital demons. All right, I have a question here. Digital demons. Usually. Oh, no, wait. I was going to say something completely off. Digital demons. I don't know what the reception of the previous project was. Because I've listened to a few songs from them. It sounds good, like for a first-time project, amateur kind of thing. It sounds pretty good. But what was the reception like? Because I know now, because of Sleep Token, people go back and listen to it, and that's why the numbers are going up for that. But when that was new and fresh, was the reception good? Because I think the digital demons he's referring to is that they started this thing, right? They committed to becoming a project, put out music, but it wasn't well received. So there were critics, there were trolls, there were haters, and he was already suffering in real life, right? Behind scenes. And he was like, digital demons make the night feel heavenly. So my life is so fucking bad that I go online and I read criticisms about our music. And the critics and the haters and the trolls, like, they make me feel something. Right, in the next line, he literally says, because anything's better than the way I feel right now. So that literally is him saying, the trolls, like the hatred I'm getting from them, makes me feel something. So I'm like, yeah, it's better than the way I feel right now. I can offer you a blacklit paradise, diamonds in the trees, pentagrams in the night sky. I heard this line and I immediately thought, pentagrams in the night sky. Now, if you take that at face value, pentagrams in the night sky, you think of pentagram as a satanic star with a circle around it, sure. But a pentagram is simply just a five-sided figure. And how do we draw stars? With 5 points. It's a pentagram. A star is a pentagram. Stars in the night sky. Diamonds in the trees. If you look up at the night sky through a tree, like as a tree swaying in the breeze or something, whether it's the starlight or the moonlight or any kind of light in the night sky, it shines through the trees and it twinkles like diamonds. So, blacklit paradise, paradise being Eden, this is where they are, the best time of their lives. Blacklit, so it's kind of like a nightclub, I don't know. But I'm not saying it is a nightclub, I'm saying like a nightclub is blacklit. This is like blacklit. Or it could be referring to, like, blacklight reveals the most hidden things. Like, you shine a blacklight, you can reveal so much. Right? Diamonds in the trees, pentagrams, the night sky is literally them lying on the grass in this paradise. It's figurative, but them lying on the grass, looking up at the sky, and they see pentagrams, and they see diamonds through the trees. That's what that is. At least that's my interpretation. Diamonds in the trees, I thought of that because, like, you look through a tree at the night sky, any light shining through a tree when the tree is waving in the breeze, twinkles. It looks like diamonds. Anyway, lipstick, chemtrails, red flags, pink nails, with one eye on the door, other eye on a rail. Ooh, other eye following a scarlet trail. Here's the scarlet trail again. Blood trail. Ah, fuck. Lipstick, chemtrails, red flags. All right. In my original analysis, I felt like this was about sex. Could also still be about sex. Lipstick, chemtrails. A chemtrail is usually something, a chemical trail. That's literally what it is. It's a compound word. That's what they are, right? You take two words, you stick them together. But chemtrail refers to, like, when you see a plane, like when a plane is like crop dusting a field, it leaves behind a chemtrail because that's what falls on the crops. That's a chemtrail, if I'm not mistaken. That's kind of what it refers to. That's what I'm thinking of. Red flags, of course. Red flags in the relationship. Pink nails, pink nail polish, lipstick and pink nails. One eye on the door, other eye on a railing of a bed, maybe. Or They had sex on some steps. One eye on the door, other eye on a rail, other eye. So he's already looking like through his fucking third eye, following a scarlet trail and the last few drops from the Holy Grail. So he's already looking to the future at this point, right? Following a scarlet trail, following the blood trail, red and the blue, right? All of that. The few drops from the Holy Grail. So that's what he's chasing, the Holy Grail, the unattainable treasure, basically. Because that's what Holy Grail means nowadays. You can say it's referring to the actual Holy Grail, the cup of Christ that gives you eternal life. But no, nowadays when you say chasing a Holy Grail, it means you're chasing something so unattainable. It's like the greatest treasure you could ever have. So Holy Grail, I think for him at this point, the Holy Grail is the fame and fortune that he would get from music or from any project or something he's working on, but some kind of reward, his treasure. But last few drops of the Holy Grail, I think refers to that Holy Grail is running dry. So it's not what he thought it would be, which is why he gave that up and started Sleep Token. Rose gold chains, ripped lace, cut glass. I mean, rose gold chains, ripped lace, literally, I mean, it's referring to what either he's wearing or she's wearing, whatever it is, right? Cut glass. I don't know what cut glass refers to. Cut glass is like polished glass or like glass that's been cut into a shape. What else is cut glass? I'm not sure there. But anyway, bloodstains on the collar means just don't ask. Right? Bloodstains on the collar means just don't ask. That, I think that he's talking to, like, it means just don't ask. So this is already like they're well into the violent stage of their relationship, and there's bloodstains on the collar from either a fight or some really rough hanky-panky, because the start of this verse is about sex. So yeah, bleeding, and there's blood on the collar, and it means just don't ask. So like he's telling other people, I guess, when he goes out, if you see blood stain on my collar, just don't ask. I don't want to talk about it. I just don't talk to me. Be the first to the feast. Now a feast, I mean, I'm thinking of vor when it says feast, right? Let's choke on the past. So at the feast, they're choking on food. I mean, I see the word choke, I'm thinking of chokehold, but no, I don't think it's that. But be first to the feast. So the feast in vor was basically them, like, it's the act of consuming or being consumed. So they had they've not fetishized it. What's the word I'm trying to use? Romanticized it. They romanticized the consumption, the whatever that this relationship was like eating at them, or they wanted to be eaten or wanted to be consumed by each other. At least he did want to be consumed by her. So be the first to the feast. Let's choke on the past and take to the broken skies at last. So choke on the past. Let's think about the past and fucking choke on it. Take to the broken skies at last. So broken skies, I think broken skies could be referring to like on a rainy day, you know, you see gaps in the clouds. That could be that. Take broken skies, take to the broken skies, like the ascending, Ascensionism, right? Ascending, taking flight, levitate, the song Levitate. All of that, this sprinkled in there. Anyway, Times of the Trees, again, repeated. And then he just fucking melts our faces with the breakdown at the end. So you're gonna watch me ascend. So this basically is him like, I mean, before this, he's talking about the previous project and how it sucked the life out of him and she sucked the life out of him. But then he's like, no, you're going to watch me ascend. And then he super saiyans his way out of that fucking trap and starts Sleep Token and ascends basically as Vessel. So that's what I think that's referring to. And then verse 4 is he's repeating it to drive the point home. I know what you want from me. You want the same as me, my redemption, eternal ascension, setting me free. So I'll take what I want, then leave. So it's like he's gone now and she's behind and she's like, oh, I know what you want from me. You want the same as me. You want to be where I am. You lied to me. You said that we would get there together, and then you fucking betrayed me. You took the life out of me. So now I'm gonna leave you. My redemption, eternal ascension, setting me free. I'll take what I want. I'm out of here, bitch. And then the outro, I think, is sprinkled in as just like a thought at the back of his head that's just itching. You know, you make me wish I could disappear. Like, you make me wish I could just leave this planet and just leave everything and just disappear. But instead, he just ascended and he became vessel. Whoo! That was epic. It's a great narrative, man. It's a really great narrative. Also, I want to point out that the creature or character for this thing is a four-armed figure. He's carrying a gun, a pitchfork or a trident, something that looks like threads or wires, and something that's, what are those things called? The priests, they swing the things and it does smoke, those things. The incense thingies, I don't know what they're called. I was raised Catholic and I still don't fucking know what they're called. But those things. So this is definitely references, which I'm going to dive into maybe at a later point. I don't know if I come back to this. But yeah, that was Ascensionism. We're going to dive into Take Me Back to Eden now, and I'm going to try and speedrun through that because Take Me Back to Eden is an 8-minute fucking song. There's a lot of lyrics to get through. But Take Me Back to Eden is... I noticed a comment way back that said, Take Me Back to Eden, it reads like the last song of the album, and then Euclid is like the epilogue, which reads as the final song of the trilogy, which blew my mind. I'm hyped for that. I'm so stoked to get into Euclid and see what the fuck I'm getting into. But anyway, let's go Take Me Back to Eden. Now, there have been times through this album, the reason he's called it Eden has led me to ask the question, like, is it that he thought their relationship was so, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, so magical, so mystical, that he felt like they were like Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, like it was no one else. It was just them in this bubble of a paradise, like Adam and Eve. Was it that? Could be that, right? That's why the imagery of the gods and the religious themes coming through. Could be that. Anyway, I dream in phosphorescence. Like, phosphorescence is like light that is given off through like radiation, right? Now, let me be sure about this. Let me Google what fucking phosphorescence mean. A light given off at low temperatures that is caused by the absorption of radiation. So he dreams in UV light. Okay, like black light. UV light, black light. I dream in phosphorescence. So he dreams in black light. So he's dreaming of the blacklit canopy. Okay. Bleed through spaces, see you drifting past the fog, but no one told you where to go. Right, so no one held his hand and directed him and gave him any sort of direction. We dive through crystal waters, perfect oceans. Okay, possible reference to the second album. But no one told me not to breathe. I mean, sure. Like the innocence of a child, I guess. Right? The innocence of a child where... But I mean, that's like a instinct, isn't it? I mean, when you go underwater... But anyway, I don't need to analyze it that way. No one told me not to breathe. It's metaphorical. So he wants to dive into the water, but nobody told him not to breathe. Right? And now the weightlessness recedes. So he's kind of sinking. Right? So it's in his dream space, basically. So it could be a possible reference to songs like Atlantic or anything off the second album with the water theme and him sinking and feeling like he's sinking below the surface of the ocean. Right? It could be that. My mother's eyes like fire. I'm a winged insect, you're a funeral pyre. So eyes like fire, but he's a winged insect like a moth. So a moth attracted to fire. So he's literally in a trance, right? He's in a trance and he's like just drawn to her gaze because her eyes are like fire, and he's a moth, and she's a funeral pyre. Now, funeral pyres symbolize like letting go, moving on, but also funeral pyre is like he's finally leaving her behind. He's setting a blaze to the past, setting a blaze to the relationship. She's dead and gone, figuratively. He's setting fire to her, basically. Not literally, but she's a funeral pyre and he's a winged insect, but he's still drawn to her. He's still drawn to the funeral pyre because it's a giant fucking fire, and he's a moth, and moths just want to fly into it, right? Here's another reference to wires and this like circuit board reference that was in what was it, Aquarija? Yeah, it was Aquarija. The wires, he's talking about circuit board. In Ascensionism, he's like, you're a half algorithm. Like the machinery, that imagery keeps coming back up. So anyway, come now by through these wires, I am a waking hell and the gods grow tired. Wordplay there. So he's hell and the gods grow tired. Reset my patient violence along both lines of a pathway higher. Grow back your sharpest teeth, you know my desire. What was the song where he was like, take a bite out of me? Something like that, right? Something like that. That's referring to that. So he's talking about them. I mean, it's a metaphorical bite, like take a bite out of me, take a chunk out of me. Take something from me. She took something from him, right? There's a lot of this sort of Jaws imagery and the animal imagery where it's like the teeth, sink your teeth into me, that kind of stuff. Bite through these wires. So yeah, so like there's a lot of that imagery going around of him being like a circuit board and with the wires and all of that. So he's talking in those lines. Grow back your sharpest teeth, you know my desire. So come now, bite through these wires. That's his desire, right? He wants her to take a chunk out of him, basically. Which again ties back to the song Vor and that thing of being consumed. But that song was more about being consumed whole. So it's escalating, basically. I will travel far beyond the path of reason. Take me back to Eden. All right. I spit blood when I wake up. Sink porcelain stained, choking up brain matter and makeup. Yeah, so spitting blood when he wakes up. I think that could be either their shouting matches and their fights were so verbally violent, like he was screaming to the point that his throat was just fucked and he wakes up spitting blood. Sink porcelain stained, choking up brain matter and makeup. So I think brain matter is like figurative. He feels like he was coughing out his own brain, like he's that sick. And makeup, obviously I guess they both wore makeup. I don't know, could be that. Just 2 days since the mainframe went down. See, another fucking reference to like the circuit board imagery. Since the mainframe went down and I'm still messed up. 2 days since the mainframe went down. Alright, that's like mainframe going down. Could be like shutting down, going to sleep. But 2 days since the mainframe went down. So what, like he's been out cold for like 2 days? Is that what he's referring to? And he's still messed up? Or that maybe this is after like her influence caused him to also drink and smoke and he became sick because of that, and he's just been out for 2 days, addicted to whatever she got him addicted to, if that was the case, and he's still messed up. Room feels like a meat freezer. I dangle in like cold cuts. Yeah, so he's sick. He's going through withdrawal. I feel like that's what this is. He's going through withdrawal, and it usually you get the shivers. You have symptoms like you're being sick, like your body is literally shutting down because it craves the substance. But if you don't give it that, it's gonna shut down on you, right? That's what he's referring to there. Missed calls, answer phones from people I just don't trust. Mirror talk, fake love. Mirror talk again. In Do You Wish That You Loved Me was more about him wanting to love himself, but he was so shut down completely inside and completely dead inside. But on the outside, he still wished that he wasn't. Like, he wanted his reflection to talk back to him, but fake love. So he has to kind of put on a face and be okay with it, like get through the day. But I'll take a pound of your flesh before you take a piece of my pay stub. So yeah, that's a pay stub, basically being paid for their work together. And she pissed him off so much that he's like, no, you're not getting fucking anything of mine. This is mine, my money. I earned it. And yeah, I'll take a pound of your flesh, which is another Shakespearean reference that has been sprinkled in this album. Merchant of Venice, if you didn't know. Pound of your flesh before you take a piece of my pay stub. So, white roses, black doves. Godmother, rise up. I need you to see me for what I have become. That's interesting to me because, okay, white roses, black doves. That's like wordplay because doves are usually white. Roses are usually red. But white roses do exist. Black doves, I've never seen a black dove. I think that just might be like imagery within his head. White roses or black dove. I don't know if there's any sort of symbolism behind a black dove. Hold on, let's see. All right, a black dove, spiritual meaning. On another level, some believe that the black dove symbolizes spiritual transformation. Okay, or it could be an omen of death, change, transformation, bad luck, or sadness. So that's literally like spiritual transformation or growth. And then in the next article, it's like, oh, it could be death, change, transformation. Which one is it? So white roses, what do white roses symbolize? White roses symbolize loyalty, purity, and innocence. So loyalty, purity, innocence, and then death, transformation. White roses, black doves. Okay, so he could be talking about wanting the loyalty of a partner that you go into business with, like she was his partner in that project, and they went into that project with the mindset of making something from it together. But the line, I'll take a pound of your flesh before you take a piece of my pay stub, infers that she wanted everything and that she wanted to leave him behind. Maybe? Because there's so much to decipher from that, because they were in a relationship. There were allusions to them kind of having a child, losing the child, maybe an accident. I don't know. There's so much to, like, the chronology of the events are so fucking, I don't know. Anyway, Godmother, rise up. Now, who's Godmother here? Is it actually Sleep? Because then that kind of goes against the theory that Sleep is the woman. Because if he wants Godmother to rise up and see him for what he has become, or Godmother in a literal sense, a godmother is your legal guardian. So maybe it's the person who was taking care of him at the time. I need you to see me for what I have become. Godmother, rise up. Oh, God, maybe it's a person he looked up to in his youth that is no longer there now. And he's saying, rise up. I need you to see me for what I have become. I need you to see what I've done with my life. Because the godmother might have died before he made anything of himself, right? She may have died when he was young. Could be that. Yeah, the chorus repeats. And then verse 3. I guess it goes to show, does it not, that we've no idea what we've got until we lose it. And no amount of love will keep it around if we don't choose it. Yeah, that's kind of pretty simple on the face. Like, it's like, yeah, it goes to show we don't know what we got until it's gone. So maybe that was either the relationship or the project after they broke up. You don't know what you got until it's gone, and no amount of love will keep it around if we don't choose it. So I guess she didn't choose it, and it was lost. And I don't know what's got its teeth in me, but I'm about to bite back in anger. No amount of self-sought fury will bring back the glory of innocence. There was a line on... This is remembering a long time ago. I mentioned that there's a lot of imagery of like sharpest teeth, take a bite. There's a song in the second album. Oh, I think it was the first album. Where he's like, take a bite out of me, you've got the sharpest teeth, right? Could be that. I don't know what's got its teeth in me, but I'm about to bite back in anger. No amount of self-sought fury will bring back the glory of innocence. So yeah, he's past the point of like, he used to be this naive, innocent little child, basically, in a metaphorical sense. But now he's past the point of like just accepting fate and just accepting that this shit is being done to him by her. And he's about to bite back in anger. And no amount of self-sought fury will bring back the glory of innocence. He cannot go back to that time, right? That innocent time. And then again, the chorus repeats. And here in the post-chorus, he brings up lyrics from Chokehold. This is how Chokehold started. But You Know My Desire is from this song, so he's mixing it in. When we were made, I know it was no accident. You know my desire, we were tangled up like branches in the flood. That's like the opening lyrics of Chokehold. And then the refrain, I've traveled far beyond the path of reason, take me back to Eden. This was heavy. This song was heavy, and I loved it. So I can see how this kind of ties in the whole album as like the album's end. So anyway, that was fun. Take me back to Eden. So yeah, now we are about to jump in to the last song on this album and the final song of the entire trilogy. Euclid.